Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Here to highlight a game release that is finally dropping on PC that I am incredibly excited for, and it is Final Fantasy XVI. Now, to be perfectly honest, Final Fantasy XVI was one of the more divisive Final Fantasy games ever released, but it was one that I absolutely enjoyed, and I want to go over some of the things that you should know about the game before you spend your $50 or even $70 on the game. Yes, we don't see a lot of $70 game releases on PC, but if you want the Final Fantasy XVI Complete Edition, you will spend $70 unless you're smart about it and you go on over to our friends at Green Man Gaming. If you're an XP member at Green Man Gaming, you'll save 18% on Final Fantasy XVI's Complete Edition. Instead of $70, you'll pay $57.39, and you won't pay tax either, so that's a sizable savings. On top of that, if you would rather just get the standard edition, 18% off for $41, no tax there either, and that's a pretty good deal if you're an XP member. If you're not an XP member, don't fret. You can use the code SEP15, that's for September 15, SEP15, and you'll save 15% off. While it's not as good as the XP deal, still a pretty good deal in general. I will leave the link in the description box below. You will get a Steam key, redeem it right on there. Boom, you got a copy of Final Fantasy XVI. Now, let us talk about everything that you need to know. We'll highlight both editions as well as the system requirements that are available. Unfortunately, only just 2 tiers of system requirements. What can you do? But we'll get to that at the end of this video. Right off the top, if you want anything to sell you on Final Fantasy XVI and whether or not you're going to like the game, don't have me do it. Go download the demo for yourself. That is the first thing you should do. It is the opening section of the game. It is the same demo that was released on PlayStation 5. Not only will you get a taste of the game, but you'll also see how it runs on your PC and whether or not that is at a satisfactory level. They have dropped 2 updates on the demo, so the demo has gotten better. This is not a game you're going to be looking to play on the Steam Deck or the ROG Ally. I tried playing it on my Ally. Didn't do all too well. Who knows, after maybe some optimization or whatnot, but I wouldn't really be looking at it from that lens. But seeing performance on your gaming PCs, that's going to be worthwhile as well. Now let's talk about Final Fantasy XVI. It was one of the biggest game releases of 2023, was initially a PlayStation 5 exclusive, now comes to PC on September the 17th. It's an epic dark fantasy where fates are decided by mighty icons and dominants who wield them. The icons are your summonings that have been long in Final Fantasy, and they are showcased in a pretty spectacular way. This is the tale of one Clive Rossfield, a tragic warrior who swears revenge on the dark icon Ifrit, a mysterious entity that leaves naught but calamity in its wake. Now, why is Final Fantasy XVI so divisive? Well, it comes from the style of game that it is. If you want to call it an RPG, you would be stretching the term RPG quite a lot. This is more of an action game. Yes, it's an action game with a lot of content and RPG elements, but at the heart, it is a spectacular action game. And that did push some people away. That's why I am very inclined to recommend you guys to go play the demo, because it'll give you an idea of the gameplay, and the gameplay in the game is incredibly satisfying from an action gameplay standpoint. Now, I do have to say, I found the game to be very much on the easy side, and you don't get the hard difficulty until you beat the game. I feel like if the hard difficulty was available right out the gate, a lot of people would have started with that difficulty, because the normal standard difficulty, pretty much a breeze to go through, but it's still a stylish as all hell game. Narratively, it is incredibly compelling. There are some decisions that necessarily I don't agree with. I feel like with any JRPG, I can pick out some things that I don't necessarily agree with, but it's an incredibly woven together narrative with a lot of twists and turns, and it is a little bit of a darker tone. I mean, Final Fantasy has never been this super kid-friendly franchise or anything like that, but this one definitely a little bit more mature and on the darker tone side. Saw a lot of comparisons to Game of Thrones, and I can see why that is. Throughout the game, you'll have a plethora of powerful swordplay techniques and iconic abilities that lie within Clive's remit, and it's up to you to decide which ones you wish to learn or upgrade. If you're having trouble choosing, upgrades can be unlocked automatically as well. Story focus mode is available if you want a really easy time through the game, and it's recommended for those players who are less comfortable with action games and wish to focus on the game's story elements. In this mode, Clive will automatically evade some attacks, and epic iconic combos can be triggered with simple button presses. Action focus mode, where Clive's every action is controlled by the player, is available for those who are confident in their skill or want to test it. Again, even in action mode, It's a fairly easy game to go through. It's not too difficult. But if you want to play it in a more simple way, that story focus mode is available as well. Visually, it is a stunning game to look at. And again, you'll get a little bit of that visual prowess by just playing the demo. And from a boss battle standpoint, this game has some of the most remarkable boss battles, quite possibly the most remarkable boss battles I've ever seen in a video game. It is that stunning, and the scale is that big as far as the gameplay is concerned. The game will feature full compatibility with Xbox controllers, DualShock controllers, and DualSense controllers via USB. And now let's talk about the additions of the game. Right off the top, there is an early purchase bonus. Pre-purchase Final Fantasy XVI Standard Edition or Complete Edition, and you will receive some in-game items, the accessory Kate Sith's Charm, valuable item 16 Bells Roll, and the weapon Brave Blade. These items can be acquired by customers who pre-order or purchase the game between 4 p.m. UTC on August 19th up until October the 17th. So it's not just a pre-purchase bonus. As long as you pick it up within that first month after release, you'll get that bonus. Now, the most important part, you do have two editions. The base game, which was the standard release that happened back in June of 2023 on PS5, will be $49.99. Again, $41 at Green Man Gaming with your XP membership. A little bit cheaper with the code SEP15 if you're not an XP member. That is the base game, and then there is the complete edition. That is what you and most people, I think, are going to want to be looking at, because this is getting you the expansion pass as well. This includes both the Echoes of the Fallen DLC as well as Final Fantasy XVI The Rising Tide DLC. Echoes of the Fallen is the smaller expansion, but still a notable DLC with some new content. Rising Tide includes a huge boss battle. Leviathan is in that DLC as well. That's one piece of content that is really up to par with the rest of the Final Fantasy XVI content and very much worth playing through. There's a spectacular battle in that DLC as well. It's not going to double the length of the game or anything crazy like that, but you are going to get several hours of gameplay that is worthwhile for an additional $20, or, again, through Green Man Gaming, you're getting it at a sizable discount, so I think it's worthwhile to get the complete edition as the DLC is quite good, but I'll leave that decision-making up to you guys. Lastly, system requirements to go over quickly. Minimum Ryzen 5 1600 or an Intel Core i5 8400, 16 gigs of RAM, and an RX 5700 or a GTX 1070. That is for 30 frames per second at 720p. For the two of you still gaming at 720p, there you go with that. Recommended, on the other hand, is for Ryzen 7 5700X, Core i7 10700, 16 gigs of RAM, and a Radeon RX 6700 XT and an RTX 2080. It is, however, for just 1080p. So if you are looking to be playing this game at 1440p or 4K, you're going to need quite the beefy PC. And by the way, that is for 1080p at 60 frames per second. But again, 1440p, 4K, it is going to be the undertaking to run this game. So just keep that in mind. Probably the most alarming thing out of all of this, 170 gigabytes for the install size of the full game. I would have to imagine that includes the DLC, but yes, this is going to be a sizable download. Final Fantasy XVI is out on Steam and PC September the 17th. Link in the description box below to get the game considerably cheaper at Green Man Gaming. You should definitely take advantage of that, but that's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.